Here at Next Level Guitar. How you doing? Today we're going to do a really good inspired by lesson, but we're going to talk about composition, and we're going to talk about using some of these things that we hear all the time and get lost in, and write songs with them. That's the biggest, most important goal of our lesson. We're going to talk about key elements that we need to know to be able to pull this off. One of them is going to be, of course, our tone. This particular lesson, I'm detuned. My sixth string is down to a D. Everything else is standard, though, just so we know that. So tone is really important. Structure, we need it in our life. We need it in our songs. We're going to go over that. Talk a little bit about our theory and some scales and that kind of thing. And most importantly, we're just going to have a good time. What we're doing today is we're detuned, right? And what we really want to identify first off is what key we're in when we're playing like this. You know, when we're in drop D, technically it's D minor. So D minor is a relative minor to F major. Well, I'm dropped in my tuning. So that means I'm going to start from 3. And that's how we're going to iron this out. So we're going to go. And back to my major. So that's pretty cool. That's going to allow me to do some riffage. And I've actually got another video on the site that talks a little bit about that. It talks about the tunings of the scales and what have you. So if you're lost at all, there's other people other than myself doing it. You can go to the website and find out really cool information and different interpretations of that information. So that's really important. But I like to use that because with this low string, and that scale being my guide, I can get some of these really heavy sounds that we want to talk about today. So lots of neat ways to play our chords in a detuning and fun ways that we can make these overtones happen. So here's one way to do the D. Now, you'll often hear people do variations from this chord, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Bring that pinky out. Now, to do that rhythm, because so much of this is about beat, and you'll see me demonstrating various rhythms and tempos and things, I'm going to do a downstroke and then an upstroke, and I'm going to embellish these chords. Notice that was 5, 7, 8. Now that all works because structurally, if I know my scale shapes in this position, my scale strum out that chord. Get all these neat sounds. We'll talk about structure with these in a minute, but we're going to talk about how to make some neat sounds. Notice I just covered my first finger on the low 6th string. I'm just trying to create a pedaling kind of melody. Pedaling because I've got this low string going over and over again. And I'm experimenting with these sounds. And again, this is one position that we can do this. And in this style of music, there's pretty much 3 places that everybody always goes. One of the other ones is here. So I'm going to basically be barring on my 8th fret. I'm covering these low strings. All the same extensions. So really, what are we talking about? We're talking about melodies that change on the D string and really embellish our chords. Now I'm making it up as I go, and I'm just keeping this kind of pedaling vibe, like I said, that's a really good way to get started. We'll talk about other rhythms in a moment, but we're embellishing chords for now. So we're here. I like this one. Pretty ugly and awesome. This is 8 and 7. When people do this, a lot of times they'll get into some melodic notes here. Some other stretches that can kind of occur here, right? Let's say if I'm doing something that sounds like this. Pretty gross, but really cool in context. I'm on the 3rd fret and my pinky's going all the way out to 8. Really, like, you know, you can get your kind of poppy choruses with that kind of stuff. And notice I'm doing the D to this 4th chord here, and then I'm putting my pinky over here. So I ultimately get that really kind of noisy, dissonant interval. Now this is going to be barred for my 8, and I'm going to do that because I'm going to go to 7 in a moment. And that's that sound right there. Heavier sounds. So that's pretty cool to start with, right? And every song needs a good hooky chorus. We like that. So that's an example of strumming some of these things out. Now, if I want to get a little faster with my rhythm,